This week on my book club, I want to talk about the 1930s personal development classic, something that I think that everybody needs to read. I've made jokes that this needs to be a textbook in schools, especially in this day and age when we're so focused on ourselves, so focused on social media and our phones and on the computers and just so into ourselves and not really engaging other people in conversation. I have read this book 3 times. Well, I've listened to it in audiobook once, and I've read it twice, and I've given it away, all dog-eared and post-it notes in it, tons of notes to be taken from this book. I'm still not really into Kindle and everything like that. I just can't really get into staring at a screen reading a book. I'm a bit old-fashioned that I like a good paperback to read, and plus I like seeing my books up on my bookshelf and talking about them with people that come over and giving them out to people. I just picked up a new copy of this, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is one of the best books you can possibly read for yourself. If you apply the lessons in this book, it will change your life exponentially, dramatically change your life. And it has for me. And every time I read it, I get something new out of it. And it's one of those books, it's simple in theory, but a lot more difficult to practice in life, I think, because we are very much focused on ourselves, especially in this day and age. So this book teaches you many great lessons. The title might sound a bit manipulative, but it's not. It's far from it. It teaches you how to be a great leader, be a great person, a great friend, and some of these lessons are very simple. Like, for example, listening intently on what the other person has to say and complimenting them genuinely about what they're speaking about. Most of us, we wait for our turn to talk. Now, there's a difference there, you see. So when somebody's talking with me, I can either wait for my moment to speak, I have my response ready to go, and I'm not really listening to what they're saying. But in this book, he teaches you not to even think about formulating a response until they are finished speaking. Listen intently on what they're saying and talk more about what the other person's saying that you're in a conversation with, more than you want to talk about yourself. Always ask them to talk about themselves. My general rule of thumb is I genuinely like to listen about 90% of the time and maybe talk the other 10% of the time in a conversation. That is one of the many lessons that you will get out of reading this book. Some of the other ones, becoming a great leader, how to win in any argument. I'll give you a hint. It's to do your best to not get into an argument and just to listen to what the other person has to say, to listen to their point of view in the argument, and just be as friendly as possible in that situation, right? Much more difficult to do in reality than just to read about it. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. This is this week's book, and for a good reason. I will be talking about this book a lot more in the future. Highly recommend you go listen to it. It's also an audiobook form. I think there's a YouTube version of it for free that you can listen to. It's about 4 to 5 hours, so definitely check that out. If you can get your hands on the paperback as well, do that. How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie. Until next week on the book club, be good.